And what inspires me from the Word of God are the stories in the Bible of ordinary people living their ordinary lives, doing ordinary things, and how God uses them with their faith to have an extraordinary impact in their lives or in the lives of others. And we see it over and over in the Bible. So I know that God intends for us to know it. Let me share an example. So in 2 Kings, we are told of a maid, an ordinary maid, living her ordinary life, doing ordinary maid-like things. And she discovers that she's the maid for the wife of a warrior. The warrior's name is Naaman. And Naaman has contracted leprosy, which is a highly contagious disease. It affects the skin and the nervous system, the whole body. And it's so contagious that you don't get to just stay home. They want you out of town. And so here she is, living her ordinary life, and she hears that Naaman has now contracted leprosy. And she says, and I'm not quoting verbatim the scriptures, but she says, oh, it's too bad. He doesn't go see the prophet, and because the prophet could heal him. And so Naaman gets word of it, and he goes through all the processes to get permission to go, and he and his servant go to see the prophet. And he gets to the prophet's house, and he's standing outside the guy's house, and the prophet doesn't come to the door. The prophet sends his servant to the door to tell him, oh, go dip in the river, go dip a couple of times, and you'll be fine. And so, of course, Naaman's a warrior. He's so offended, being disrespected this way. He didn't even come to the door after I traveled. And so he says, no, I'm not going to go. But Naaman's servant, who's with him, says, wait. If the prophet had said for you to do something hard, you would have done it. So let's just go do it. And so they decide to go do it, and Naaman dips in the river, and he gets healed. Now, you have to admit, that's an extraordinary impact. From being exiled to now your life is back to normal. And how does that happen? Yeah, we know God did it. But how did God do it? He used this ordinary maid, living her ordinary life, doing her ordinary things, and her faith that God could do it through this prophet. And we see that over and over in the Bible. And that it inspires me because I'm an ordinary person, living my ordinary life, doing my ordinary things. And God can use my ordinary life, submitted to Him, with my faith in God, to have an extraordinary impact in my own life. I've seen it. I know it to be true, but also in the lives of others. Now, this maid, it took Naaman days to get to the prophet. And this whole time, she didn't know what was going on. She couldn't have known he was going to be healed for sure. But she just lived her ordinary life. And she spoke her faith with confidence. And God changed Naaman's whole outcome. And that inspires me, because we don't have to have, ideas of grandeur. We don't have to aspire to be fantabulous. God can use our ordinary lives, submitted to Him, with our faith in Him, to bring about changes. And we see it over and over in the Bible. And I just find that very inspiring from the Word of God.